You know, whenever I watch these episodes after a whole while of only watching them once or twice, with this episode being the most that I forgot about, literally one of the characters in it that I didn't talk about in previous episodes that were a main focus in one of those episodes but I skipped out on. This episode really feels like that they have so many ideals with almost every single character, which I did establish in my season 1 and 2 episode reviews of Beach City episodes. But coming across this, there was a lot more that made me forget instantly because of how less memorable they were in comparison to the other episodes. The premise of this episode is that Sour Cream wants to be a DJ, but his stepdad, Yellowtail, wants him to be a fisherman, which he denies. And considering that Yellowtail speaks in a language that no one understands, mainly mama, Sour Cream is literally the only character who actually understands Yellowtail. And then Marty, who is a character that I've talked about from season 1, is Sour Cream's dad, and he gave him an offer to perform as a DJ at Beach City, but at the same time, it's not what he thinks. In the evening of the wave, his scheme is to promote his soda, which everyone dislikes, and he told Sour Cream that this is his show, not his, and he's just only using him to promote his soda. The reason why I picked this episode, Drop Beat Dad, is mainly the fact that this is gonna be the only time we're ever going to see Marty return, and considering that he is the father of Sour Cream, it really gave me the impression that he still remains how he was from his debut episode, but at the same time, he gets worse just by how he's using his son in order to promote his soda, which ended up backfiring considering that everyone hates it, but at the same time, he doesn't care. Except Onion, who liked the soda, but still. Even though that he doesn't actually get any repercussions whatsoever aside from Sour Cream speaking in Yellowtail's language, it just really feels like that his return in this episode is mainly a way of giving Greg an envelope, considering it's an application. In the following episode, Greg did a song in a burger commercial, and the money that he got is $10 million. To tell you the truth, if this is literally the main reason, then I don't know what it is. Other than the fact that we know that Marty is Sour Cream's dad. But when it comes to Sour Cream's stepdad, Yellowtail, it's obviously the fact that Yellowtail takes care of Sour Cream due to Marty spending his time outside Beach City and at concerts. Believe me, whenever I see Yellowtail in this, I honestly think of him being with Onion most of the time, considering that the episodes that I skipped out had him at least being a main character, maybe, I don't know. But if this is honestly the first time he actually does contribute something to the plot, it really makes me think that the plan of having Yellowtail being Sour Cream's stepdad was mainly thinking outside the box when it comes to Marty's character. Like, Sour Cream in this episode, with only the majority of it setting up the entire DJ set, well, technically it's mainly his father doing most of the work, and once he leaves with his bus, when Yellowtail decides to use his boat for a light for Sour Cream to perform, I really think that Sour Cream in this episode's main intention was to showcase that he's just trying to make a stand for himself, but at the same time, Connie and her mother did it better in Nightmare Hospital, considering that it was a lot more focused on her character and her relationship with Steven, not to mention her conflict with her mother on trying to rebel herself, considering that her mother doesn't know her that much, up until the very end of Nightmare Hospital. But still, him saying the same language as his stepdad is honestly the weirdest way, but honestly the most clever way of convincing Marty that he wants to be a DJ by doing it his way rather than his father's way. And to tell you the truth, this episode, while not being as good as Nightmare Hospital for having a less important stakes, mainly of what happens in Nightmare Hospital when it came to the mutant gems, I really felt like that this episode doesn't really need to try too hard, considering that some of the characters just obviously needs a spotlight, considering that they don't get much of it when they're with the other characters. Mainly the fact that Sour Cream was with the other characters like Jenny and Buck. Because, in my opinion, Buck and Jenny are mostly more memorable than Sour Cream, but at the same time, Sour Cream is somewhat memorable in his own way, since that he does have some fans, but I can guarantee you that there are a lot more fans of Buck and Jenny. I'm not saying that Sour Cream is forgettable, I'm just proving that he is the least best when it comes to the cool kids. If you like Sour Cream, that's fine, and if you think that he's better than the other cool kids characters, then that's fine. I'm just saying that because for me personally, I just don't like all the characters of Beach City, but at the same time, not every single one of them is unlikable or hateable, but since I've mentioned hateable, it's really obvious that Wanatano is the most hateable Beach City character in this show, but at this point you've always saw my review of Wanatano back in November of 2020, unless if you haven't. So, this episode is for what it is. It's better than the last episode that I've talked about, but at the same time, you would rather watch Nightmare Hospital over this. I'm giving this episode a 6.5 out of 10.